Yep, yep. I think it's life after all. Let's see. Uh, I'm just going to have only audio because yep. I think it's life. Yeah. So I mean, I'm just going to have only audio, and that's because the weather is so hot, and I'm topless right now. So my video is off. Today was a hectic day, very stressful, and I left work hoping that I could get home by like say 6:30. Guess we'll go home around to 10. Wow. Yeah, so it was a really long day, and I spent so much time around CMS Bridge, inward Akpangbon, and you discovered that Akpangbon is blocked, so we had to go down and link Akpangbon to the front, in front, right? So it was just a hassle trying to get through to that freeway where you have that straight road to Costain. It was, oh my god, I don't even want to remember it anymore. But I mean, all of that frustration, I want to kind of channel it into creating a bridge today. So I mean, as usual, I'm going to clear out the scene first. I'm just going to get to it. Welcome to another video. Uh for anyone that is here, for anyone that is not here, you're lost. So yeah, I'm going to GX this out of the way, and primarily what I'm thinking of right now is something like this. So I want to show you a picture I just saw. X this out of the way, and so the picture I saw was of a bridge like this, right? I was actually looking for a CMS bridge. That's to tell you how, let me not say how terrible, but how stressful my day was, because I really soaked in that how it connects, all of that stuff. I was like, okay, I'm probably going to channel all of this frustration into modeling that bridge today, but I couldn't find a good photo. But I saw this one and I was like, okay, yeah. So what's going to happen? I am going to model this instead. I'm going to model this long stretch. I'm going to model this curvy intersection that links up in front, and then this one to the side. And I'm going to just have this shot right here. As a matter of fact, let me copy this. Let me go on to Blender. Hopefully I have PureRef opened here. I do not have PureRef opened, so I'm going to have it here, right in here. Paste. Paste. Yep. So I got it. I think in terms of scale, we already see something that would help us here. One of the lane. This looks like a 3-lane bridge right here, and each can take like one car at a time. So I'm going to start with this. Yeah. Let me start with building. Let's start with building the road. Let's just start with basic stuffs. I'm going to scale this up. I'm thinking the human can be GX, something like so, and this is good. Looking at pure ref, I'm thinking, yeah, something similar to CMS, but with CMS, I remember that this guardrail right here, it's switching between black and white. So I'm going to look for, yeah, there's the road. I think with this, I just want to predict what the size of a car would look like. If this is a guy, Shift DX, and he wants to get into, I'll say the sedan will be like this in length and probably like this in height. So we're looking at something like this. Something around like so, SZ. And I mean, if you leave that with the tire, it comes up a little bit to this level. So yeah, something like this could be good enough. But if I move this guy into the car, Shift DX, I think this should be smaller. So I can bring this SX just a little. So we know that we can now use this as a representation of a car. And Shift DX in 3 lanes, and we have, I think this is enough. So we have that. I can delete this and I will just split this into half so I can work on both sides at the same time. And this right here, I can come to the side view so I can see it in relation to the guy. Easy. I can GX out just like so. GZ, GX. I can EX. And I can GZ. Right? So that's that. I'm going to select these 3 and I want to move them into their own separate mesh. So I have this right here. For the top of it, GX. For the top, we'll see that it has some kind of a railing to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring cursor to the top right here. Right? And I'm going to bring the cylinder RX90. Scale. I'm bringing the cylinder again because I want to reduce the count on that cylinder. This is 32. I want to bring it down to say 12. I'm going to RX90. Scale that down. Come to the side view. I'm going to GZ, GX, SX rather. So this top, I want to bring it down slightly. And then this, I know we're going to have 2 of this, top and bottom. So this is going to be something like SY rather. Then right at this spot, I can bring cursor to this point. And I'll bring in a, no, not a circle. I think I'm just going to use this. Shift D, separate that selection. And I can select this and scale it up. Right? Extrude all of that. And these 2 faces, I can insert. Right? I can bridge those. And then I want to extrude this downward. Before I do that, I'm going to Shift DZ and join these 2. So the idea of this now is that I can select these 2 faces right here and just connect them by bridging both. But I don't know why this bridge wouldn't just work directly. But let me do bridge faces just like so. So it bridge. Something I want to do is add an edge loop here, SS X rather, and just bevel that, make that rounder. So we have that information. I can bring origin to this, no, not 3D cursor, to this geometry and XY. Just open that up a little bit, and then with this I can Shift D and Z. And we have this whole thing. I'm just going to apply geometry to mesh and join the whole thing. So we have this. This is just going to be spammed across the bridge. But then I want to make sure that, you know, it's kind of at an appropriate size, right? So I'm going to scale this. Come to the side, GZ, scale. I think I think this is too high actually. GZ SZ0 GZ GZ, right? I think something I'm also going to do is take this and just send it into the ground. Just like so. So all of this, I want to add edge loops to it because I might end up, putting this on the curve or something. And it needs those loop counts to apply on the curve. Shade auto smooth. So I'm going to put this on an array. I want it on the Y, not on the Z. So I'm going to GY, bring it out to this part, and then I can increase these. So I'm going to just scale this up a smidge, and that's good. Right here, I'm just going to apply this transform, or rather this array that I've created, just like so, and then I'm going to merge any overlapping vertices. So we have that. I think this needs okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it actually. Another thing is that for the center of this right here, I feel like it's going to carry some kind of a demarcation too. So it's going to be the exact same height as this one. So I'm going to scale it down SX, and then I'm going to take this and SX, just like so. So all of this are going to be S wide, out, 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 just like so. This face I would SX, this SX GZ. So we know that this is going to be our center demarcation. For these references now, I could just take it out of the way, take this also out of the way because I want to select all of it and then mirror to the other side. So we have the roads. I want to create the pillar, but the pillar I want it to be something like this, or maybe even make it like look like actual CMS's pillar, because the pillars on that CMS bridge is peculiar. Let me look for it. So this is the train track right here, but if I zoom to this part, you will see how the pillar is. This is how it looks like right here. So I'm going to create something like this, but I'm going to increase the thickness of the bridge, and then there are also some street lights that I need to include. So I need to include the street light. Actually, I was going to not include it, but I'm going to have to include it right now. Right here. So I'm going to do something like this. Select this part and GZ, right? Then I can EX the other way. I'm going to take out these faces. Then You see this inner part right here? I can GZ this. I can bring this to the side. I can select this face, extrude it. I can GX. Delete faces, and that's good. I think for this part, I'm going to GZ. Bring that down a little bit, and then I can start plotting out the pillars. I think it has to be something like this. I probably want to bring 3D cursor right here, and that pillar is entirely cylindrical. Basically, I want to bring this up to say 20, so it's has a little bit of higher resolution. And let me zoom in even more. I can't zoom in more. It looks something like this to me. So I'm going to GZ, right, scale, S shift Z, scale, S shift Z, and I can GZ downward. And this face right here is inserted and extruded out, just like so. So this part, I'm just going to create a detail that makes it look like it's a lot more complex than it is. So I'm just going to shade auto smooth, and on the side I can Y out like so, because I'm looking at this now and I feel like a pillar should appear for like every two instances of this. So it's going to be something like this. Shift DX or Shift DY, right? And this should be duplicated like so. All DY, just like so, all the way to the end, all the way to the end. So I'm just going to undo that, and you see this pillar right here. I'm going to mirror to the other side. I feel like this base should be thicker, so I'm going to S Shift Z, make that so much more thicker. Make this GX come out, right? This I can just GX out of the way, and I'm looking at this now. I almost want to take all of this and just GX, or rather Y. I want to make this line up. Okay, does it line up here too? It doesn't. So I want to do that lining up manually, because when I start duplicating things and making them array themselves, I want it to line up. I want to make sure this thing is completely dialed in. Okay, so that's good. I want to introduce the electric poles, so I'm going to add in a loop right here, a loop right here, and I can bring in a cube right here, and to the side is basically going to be have this kind of form. But this I want to be seeing it, so I want to add in a solidify modifier just to make that thicker so I can see it from side view, and this too. Let me just see how the stream is going, and then we'll get back to it. Let me just see how the stream is going, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, so that's cool. Right here I can GX bring this out, and this I can GX bring this in just like so. I can SZ this, and this is going to be the stand for the electric pole. So I can GX bring this out. I just want to check polyhaven if there's anything like that. I think there's one here. So I want to use that instead of modeling one. So I'm just going to drag this in here, and oh no. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Looks like I'm gonna have to model one. Don't check Blender kits. All right. So it so happens that we have to model one ourselves. So I'm going to bring 3D cursor to the top, and then bring in a cylinder. Let's keep it 16 sizes. GZ up to the surface, scale down, and scale this on the Z. Scale down, scale it on the Z. Shift Z. I'm just going to look for street lights. Is it street light or? Yeah, I think something like this is fine. So we're going to have one that is one-sided and one that is double-sided. So we can use that for the middle of the middle pavement rather. Okay. So I can do something like this. Add a loop right here. I can select this and extrude along normals, right? And then this top part I can GZ, bring that down. This part could rotate, scale up, and the reason I rotate it is because I want to extrude outward like this, but let me scale that even more and extrude. Then I can select this and just bevel, but I want to apply scale and then bevel all of that. Feel like this should even go further more. can extrude this out all the way out here. Bevel this. Bring cursor to this point, and I'm going to create a shape that would hold the lights, but I'm looking for something that would give me a definitive shape to follow. I think something like this is cool. I'll bring cube here, scale, rotate SZZ, bring this like so, rotate, and then I'll bring an edge loop right here, select this and SY, and then do it for the top too. I'm going to extrude that and SY. So we have that. I can apply sub D on that, shade auto smooth, and then fix the shapes. Bring this right here. I'm going to select this, bevel those two, and then I'm going to select this, insert, extrude. But before I go any further, this shape is really weird and it looks too symmetrical. So I want to go from the top and then pause. I want to take this part with proportional editing. I want to scale just that part so it's bigger, right? And then I can select this. I think I'll make this actual rounder, and then this part I'll make it slightly tighter, just like so. So with this I can GZ, come down, GZ, and right here I can add this edge loop to where I can select this and extrude along normals, right? So right here I can select these two, insert and extrude one, extrude the second time, bring cursor to selected. I can bring in a cube, bring that down to size, add a bit more resolution to that, and I mean we got it. So I'm going to apply that sub D, and I want this part of the shape gone, like literally this part. In fact, need this part, delete face. So right here I'm going to shade smooth. All of this I'm going to add into one. So this whole shape is just weird, like very very weird. As a matter of fact, let me bring in a human to just see what that looks like. I'm going to change this to a walking view. How do I do that? So I'm going to come here, navigation, walk navigation. So I'm in a walk mode. I want to look from my ground view here upward to see if there's anything weird. And I think this should be thicker and that head should be smaller. So I'm going to do that like so right now. Just seeing it from that POV, it looked weird. So this should be thicker. All of this too. All of this should be thicker. In fact, let me use this. Then the head right here, I'm going to link, and then I'm going to scale all of that down. GX. And then this part, I can select this and GG. Right here, and select this too. As a matter of fact, maybe I can move this out a little bit and then bevel. And then I'll take this entire shape and just mirror to the other side. I'm going to apply that mirror and we're good. As a matter of fact, maybe I can take this and GG. Shoot along normals. This is weird right here. Like, I don't even know what this means. Okay. Link. I think I can scale this down even more. Okay, that's cool. I think I want to return cursor to this part and just scale down a little. And then I'm going to make the entire thing taller. Since we have that, I can take all of that and just mirror to the other side, right? But I also think like this should also be in the center. So I can select all of this, Shift DX, RZ 180, and just have something similar in the center, just like so. Let's see. Just like so. So I think right here, I want to bring in a cylinder just to house that, just to house this right here. Cheesy. View frame selected, GX, scale down, shader too small, and that's cool. So I think we pretty much G shift C pretty much have one segment of this bridge. So I'm just going to select all of this and shift D. As a matter of fact, let me select all of this. I'm just put in a dump folder in case I need to select things from there. I'm going to put this in a dump, right? And I'm going to hide this. So all of this, what I want to do now is um I want to apply all of those things, but let me just add a couple of loop cuts first. Might come in handy later. I think something like this needs okay. So I can select all of it and subdivide that. And that's cool. So I can take all of that information and apply all that geometry to mesh. I would like to select this, right? Just this and shift D Y. GY, just like so. It connects. I want to select all and then join. I'm going to select it and then overlapping vertices has to go. We have 10 overlapping vertices, but even on this one, there's a lot more overlapping vertices on this one, but it's not recognizing that. So I feel like I can take this and just GY in just like so. Same would apply to this. I'm going to select and then do that joining again. So M measure by distance. Nothing went out, so I'm going to work on the threshold. So this is cool. What I can do now is just put in an array. I want the array to go on the Y. Copy that, paste in Y, copy this, paste in X. And yeah, I think this is good to go all the way to the end. I mean, it's already saying 1 million, like 1 million vertices. Why? Why? You know what? I'm going to all D this. So I will all D Y. I'll stop here. And all of this, I'm going to just repeat all the way into the distance. Right? So I want to quickly set up a camera that directly mirrors this setup right here. This. So my camera is going to be somewhere around. Let me bring in. Come on, camera, where are you? I'm going to go to photographer add-on, add in a camera, and then I think this is my shot right here. But from the top, this is my shot, just like so. So you see this, I want to, or dy, and do that a lot more. I'm going to look for that camera, increase it so I don't miss it anymore. And I think we have this bridge. So I need to create the curved one. GY. I want to move this out of focus a little. Then the curved one, I'm still going to duplicate one of this. Right, bring cursor to finally bring it to geometry, cursor to this, and I'm going to bring in a Bezier curve. This is a Bezier curve right here. I'm going to scale, not that way. RZ90, scale that. I'm going to apply all of that transform. This too, I'm going to apply all of that transform. But on this, I want to add in, an array on the Y. All right. And then I want all of that to follow a curve. So I'm going to go to deform and put in a curve, and all of that to follow this basic curve right here. So I'm just going to be shifting some values to see what works. How about we put this along a curve? Blender is hanging. I think I'm going to have to shut down, force quit Blender, and then hope that we recover the files. It is almost 1 hour. I think at the hour mark I will be done with the stream. Almost 1 hour. I think at the hour mark I will be done with the stream. Still, and shout out to you for dropping a message. I really appreciate that. Moment of truth. Okay, I think we recovered nicely. um yeah, but I think essentially I need to figure out how to get this on that curve, because that's the only way we would get this effect right here, this direct turn. um hmm I'm going to take this curve and just put it into place. G rotates, G rotates, scale rotates. I would scale that too, and I think this comes all the way to this point. I would subdivide this and then G, G. This of vertex, I'm going to take this all the way to this part and then just stretch this out just like so. So, this, do I have Bagify? Let me check. Bagify add-on, because I know with Bagify add-on it's easy to get that on a curve. Let's check for Bagify. Okay, can I install? Oh my god. So I have Bagify. I can select the bridge, select the curve, and then I can click on J and run that on the curve. So we have that curve working, but we need to tweak some settings, definitely. What if I use counts? Come on, man. I'll take this up to like 3. Yep. Matter of fact, maybe I can take it up to like 10 then, if that's the case. Take this up to 100. But something that I'm discovering that is happening with this, I don't know, but it looks like they are not connecting properly. So I'm going to first, let me try to see if I can just array on a straight line first of all, right? On the array to be on the Y. Then close it in, right? This I can increase the count. Then with this count increased, can I now do this to have this on a curve? Let's see. Oh, why is this thing dragging? Come on. Uh Frame selected. Oh, I need to install Bagapie again. So why isn't it working? Okay, Bagapie is installed. I want to save this preference. right? So I can create an array of selected array around active product. It must be a curve. Select the curve last. No, this function applies transformer. Let's see. Let's try. Okay, this looks like what I'm actually looking for. But this needs to be turned RZ90. Yep. Um I think we need to increase resolution of the curve. So I'm going to turn this off and then come to the curve right here and look for how I can increase. Let's say I take resolution up to 12. Does that make any difference? If I take this up to 24. Okay, it does. And I think that's cool. Right here, I'm just going to set this up against the camera so it looks the way it's supposed to. I'm going to take this and move it on the Z axis. GZ. So what I'm looking at now is adjusting this array in such a way that we don't have this much overlap. Frame selected. Okay. So this is cool. I want to adjust this so it doesn't intercept with the bridge, so I can select the curve and GX out of the way, and that's cool. Then I think on that reference, where is it? We also have one down here. I want to select that curve, and down here I want to bring it GZ down, just like so. I want to also make one connect down here. So you see this, I'm going to select it, Shift D, and I'm going to duplicate with Alt D, right? But for this one, I want to reduce. I feel like I want to reduce the length of this thing. Nope. Shift D. This array, I want to I just want this by the corner here, but not this much. This is too much for this detail back here. So I'm going to GZ this. I'm going to apply this array and this curve. And I want to just reduce the total number of bridges here. Like this is so much and really dense too. Delete vertices right here too. Delete vertices. I'm going to take this, and this is cool. I feel like I want to increase the resolution on this curve. Oh, so see something here. We don't have enough loop cuts on this, so it's not deforming properly. That's why I keep adding more and more resolution to that curve. View frame selected. Let's see. Dissolve edge, dissolve edge. Let's see. Um, so I'm going to go to rendered view, and I want to render the water because I feel like that's a really important aspect of why that other reference looks really good, and it's the way the water is being rendered. So I'm going to expand this to cover the entire scene and G Shift Z. I'm going to GZ this in just like so. Scale this. So I'm going to go to the shader editor, bring this in, roughness down. As a matter of fact, I want to change HDRI. Okay. Something a bit more calm. And then right here, I can select this and then connect this. But I'm looking like this. I'm not seeing enough bump in that actually. So I want to bring in a color ramp to increase the contrast in this noise texture. I'm going to bring in the blacks, crank in the whites, make it as bumpy as possible. This is not still bumpy, so I'm going to increase this up to 1, and we have some bump in the water. So that's cool. I want to increase, let me see. I want to increase the number, I want to increase the noise in this water, basically. So let me take this up to 600, right? And then reduce the distance, let's say 0.3. Leave the distance, let me just drop down the strength. Okay. That's cool. I'm not sure about the color, so I'm just going to try something else. I'm going to leave this at blue and then change HDRI. I think the HDRI is not making us appreciate the render. So I'm just going to switch HDRI, look for something better. GY. Let me look for something that shows the sky. Okay. Yeah, I like this. But let me try others. This is not bad at all actually. So let me do a little bit of texturing. Sorry for the road. So you see this part right here. Down to this. As a matter of fact, let me just select it from the top view. So you see this, all of this. Then need to go into the road. Oh, but my street light is also selected. In fact, I'm going to come to the top view and just clear out all the street light selection. This is going to be road. So I need to look for a road texture. Let's see. How is there no road texture here, bro? Like how? Asphalt. So we don't have a road texture in this. That's super weird actually. And I don't want to go. In fact, let me just check. Road CG texture. Yeah, something like this actually. Maybe this is good. I think this is also good. So I'm going to go with this. And I'm going to download this and just use on the texture for that. I think I'm going to download 2K. Should editor. I'm just going to clear out the whole thing in preparation of the road texture that is downloading. So I'm just going to go to download. I believe by now. Oh, that's not downloaded. But I should have downloaded now. Network is uber slow. Yeah, need you logged in my brand. So this one is going to be a new texture. Sides. For this, I'm going to bring in is it a brick? Let me try a brick texture first. Sign. For this, I'm going to use objects. All the offset I'm going to turn off, and scale I'm going to pump up the scale just like so. So brick width, I want to increase that, and then make color the same, white. But the mortar size I want to bring down to 0 so that we can alternate between black and white just like so. Can I use wave texture to do this? Let me see. Wave texture. Okay. I have to change this thing to a constant on color ramp. And then I can scale on the Y. So I want to pull my reference and just try to monitor the size of this in relation to the road, just to make sure that at least the scale is maybe not exactly the same, but close to where it's believable. Okay. I like this. I think this also needs a stone texture. So I'm going to come right here, create another, and I'm going to name this stone. And this stone is going to be for the pillars, right? So I'm going to, I think Polyhaven should have stone textures. So I'm going to just go stone or concrete. And then right here, I could select this, and just assign. That's cool. This and this, I want to shift D and just scale on all, but I want to do that from individual origins. Scale. Yeah, that's cool. What else? What else? What else? I feel like I need to bring metal for the lamps. So I'm going to bring in another texture. Call that metal. Right. And I'm just going to look for metal here in Polyhaven. Let's see this. G color. Try the color ramp. Let me do color ramp to change that color. I think I need to do color ramp for the roughness too, to bring in a bit more of that black. Okay, I'm cool with this. So I'm just going to go to cycles and just see what this looks like. Okay, I like what this is looking like. So with this texture established, I can always cascade for the other ones. I'm just going to save this file and make sure I'm done with this for today. Where is it? Where is it? Bridge. Maybe I'll just call this one CMS Adventure. Right. Done. Peg that. I'm going to peg this as 6. what is this? 75. I'm gonna come right here. The 75. The 75. I'm going to name this bridge. I'm going to save and then I'm going to pack all resource in the blend file. Save. I'm going to just run a very low quality render just to see what it looks like. So yeah, I think this is enough to just render something to just see what it looks like, and then we'll be done for this stream. I feel like I can do one more stream today because I'm not going on site tomorrow. So I'm quickly going to see what this looks like and then render one more. I actually like what this is looking like. I actually like it. The only thing I need to tweak is probably the height of this. The height of this seemed too high. So I'm going to bring this down a little. All of this low poly jam, like I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Yeah, I think this is enough. I already seen what I wanted to see. So I'm going to save and close, and yeah, that'll be all for this. Hopefully I can come on again by what's time? By 12:30.